ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I'm your host, Saieed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. It's a rainy day in Trinidad and Tobago, but nevertheless. So, viewers, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar have stated that Trinidad and Tobago is committed to helping CARICOM countries respond to external shocks by expanding regional access to affordable healthcare service. Do we have proper healthcare service in Trinidad and Tobago for we as a country to help others in the Caribbean? She said Trinidad and Tobago is proposing to offer CARICOM National reduced cost access to the National Prosthetic Center. Listen to this.
Trinidad and Tobago is very interested, of course, in earning forex, but at the same time giving some kind of affordable health care. So if I may, Prime Minister, this is also with respect to bringing down the cost of living in our country. So we propose, first of all, we have had help from the government of India to set up a national prosthetic center. This is for the fitting of artificial limbs. I have set up that center, and I'm not saying our services there, of course, at an affordable price will be available to our CARICOM brothers and sisters.
Trinidad and Tobago. The PM also added that TNT will also provide fully trained doctors to member states and make specialized pediatric service at the Couva Children's Hospital available to children across the region. So viewers, I have been saying this for quite a number of years. 2010 to 2015, UNC administration built the Couva Children's Hospital, as I should say, proper hospital. When the PNM administration came into power, it remained right here. They used it for COVID-19 as a center. And it remained right there. Right here. And I said right here on my show many times, if the PNM administration, we had Terence Dialsing as a healthcare minister under the PNM administration for Trinidad and Tobago, did our healthcare improve in the 10 years that Dialsing was there? No. Our healthcare went into a dilapidated state. And I told Dialsing many times right here on this program, Dialsing, invest in the Couva Children's Hospital. Buy your equipment. Bring in trained doctors. Let us open the hospital to the Caribbean. Now we have ministers, when they need their checkup, they will fly out. But not every citizen in Trinidad and Tobago could afford to fly out to get a medical checkup. Some of us have to deal with the dilapidated state of our healthcare system right here in Trinidad and Tobago. I hear you. But you know, Trinidad and Tobago, you know, I don't have a diplomatic passport to fly out anytime, you know. I don't have that. Dialsing had. Dr. Keith Rowley had. Sir John had. So they flew out, they got check up, make sure their health was in order. You see, I'll tell you this, if Dialsing did listen, if he did listen and invest in the Couva Hospital, Trinidad and Tobago, let me tell you something, would have been the hub in the Caribbean for a regional hospital. A long time ago, not now. We would have been making millions of dollars in US currency. But then again, Trinidad and Tobago, when you don't have the capacity to think outside the box, you will always be trapped in the box. You will always feel that there is no growth in this box that I am in. You know why? You cannot think outside the box. Your capacity is from between 1 to 5 years, number 2. It's sad. But now we have Kamla Prasad Bisasa, who has a dream, who has a vision for health care. Because she wants to make sure that that Cuba hospital become a solid foundation, a solid pillar in the Caribbean, right here in Trinidad, for international visitors. That is what you call a vision. And she is going after it. She is going after it. Now, there will be the people who would want to throw stone and blockage and barriers to prevent us from having a proper hospital and Trinidad and Tobago becoming the hub of the prostate center. Many would go against it. But what I want you to think about is to think about the US currency, the foreign exchange it will generate. And that is what the businessmen in Trinidad and Tobago needs. So we want to wish all the best on that Trinidad and Tobago and really hope it happen within this year, next year. You know, if you have a nice team designated to making the work, it will happen. With the help of India, hopefully. So, into other news. Kamla Prasad Bisasa, SC, says investigation has found no evidence that those reportedly killed in U.S. strike on alleged drug boat in the Caribbean were Trinidad and Tobago nationals, and has reiterated that the government will continue to be guided by legal advice. Speaking at the 51st CARICOM Heads of Government meeting, the Prime Minister directly addressed ongoing narrative surrounding an incident from several months ago, firmly refusing to prematurely brand the lethal maritime operation as murder. Mrs.
Law investigations or local law enforcement, everything, nothing has given us any evidence of the alleged murders, as you're calling them, and we don't, and I'll come back to that in a moment, of the alleged killings of these persons being national citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Several months, I asked you, what you're talking is a new one? No, you told me several months ago. We have been able to find nothing within our own investigative due diligence that they are TNT. But the second issue is you said that you are labeling these, and there are those in the world who are, Mr. Premier, I say I agree with you, any life lost is one too many. But, you know, it is your view or the view of those who've asked, your bosses said to you, whoever, that they are murders. Now, we were very careful. We got legal advice, and we are not labeling them, whether it's St. Lucia, whether it's Titi, whoever it is in these boats that are, the gunfire is going on, whatever is going. Our legal advice has not been that they are murders. And I can only act within the rule of law based on the legal advice that we have received.
So Prasad Bisasa noted that while she agrees any life lost is one too many, her administration is exercising extreme caution regarding how the event is framed. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, Donald Trump administration came out and said that guns and marijuana and cocaine are used in the Caribbean passway, watercourse, to come into the United States. And he has called out an war on drugs in the Caribbean. That is what he did. And thus far, Trinidad and Tobago, since 2025, I believe we have been seeing boats on the ocean. I can't say in territories of Trinidad. I have to say in the ocean, which are being struck down. And we have been seeing that over a number of months. Videos have been circulating, international news, even right here, our news media carried it live. But they decided to go all out on the drug war, illegal firearms. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, the drugs have been slowed down in Trinidad, in Tobago, probably of the Caribbean, those ministers have been addressing the situation. But, you know what I want to do? I really want to thank Donald Trump tonight, you know, for slowing down the process of drug trafficking in the Caribbean. That is something I should say. We do want to thank them for that. Because in Trinidad and Tobago, you know, we didn't have the proper tools under the PNM administration to fix the drug problem in our country. Because gangs were growing, murders were growing, home invasion on the rise, robbery on the rise, pickpocketers on the rise. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, we have our fair share to deal with, just like any other Caribbean countries. Switching gears a bit, Trinidad and Tobago, the United States will continue their collaboration regarding regional security and stability. Philip Kern charged the affairs at the U.S. Embassy paid a courtesy call to Attorney General John Jeremy, SC, at the Office of the Attorney General in Port of Spain. According to a release by the Office of the Attorney General, Kern recognized the long-standing relationship between the two countries and reaffirmed that the United States' commitment to working closely with the government of Trinidad and Tobago to address shared security threats. The release stated, the meeting underscored the importance of continued cooperation in investigating and interdicting narco trafficking, combating financial crimes, and disrupting the activities of transnational criminal organizations. So the United States has reaffirmed their stance and will continue to help the Trinidad and Tobago government. Also, they're going to work closely with the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard, the Trinidad and Tobago Regiment, also the Trinidad and Tobago Police Force in training our security officers in crime fighting, tactics, medicals. They vow to continue that, and hopefully in the coming months we're going to see maybe some new vessels coming into Trinidad and Tobago to train the Coast Guard. Talking about this Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this, for the first time I have seen in this country, Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service, Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, and Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard Service, they have all opened up a recruitment drive. First time I am seeing this in Trinidad and Tobago. The 4 main security departments in Trinidad and Tobago is on a recruitment drive. So to the young individuals in Trinidad and Tobago who wish to go into the security service in our country, they could probably apply and see if you're getting let's say a government work, a government service, into the protective service, whether it be police, whether it be Coast Guard, whether it be in the army. Try your luck and see. Hopefully you'll get in, because there is a big recruitment drive taking place. Viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. Stay locked on. When we come back, we're going to hear about the Hadid appeal and what the judge said. Stay locked on.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concerns. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
True growth shouldn't make you wait. This month, Real Talk Financing is changing the timeline. Get up to 7% interest on a fixed deposit paid to you upfront. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Real results sooner. Call our Central or South branches today.
Connect with us on social media and don't miss the latest updates. Follow us on Instagram at RealTalk_Newsroom. Check us out on Facebook at Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Real Talk Trinidad and TikTok at Real Talk with Saieed Ali.
Welcome back.
So, Trinidad and Tobago, welcome back to Real Talk. So, tonight I just want to talk a little bit about the 7% that you'll be getting on a fixed deposit with Real Talk Financing. Now, viewers, I had some calls from some people in some high position in Trinidad and Tobago, and they was like, Saeed, how are you doing it? How are you doing it? How it is that your financial institution could afford to give the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago 7% on a fixed deposit. How are you doing it? Strategy. Experience. That is what I told him. I said, once you have experience in the financial sector for as long as me, almost 31 years this year, I am running 2 financial institutions in Trinidad and Tobago, in Central and South Trinidad. 2 successful business. How are you doing it, Saeed? How are you doing it? You see, when you have the trust of the people, when you have the trust of the people and you're fair and you're honest with the people, miracles has happened. Miracles has happened. So, Trinidad and Tobago, there are no other financial institution in this country that is giving you 7% on a fixed deposit. No one else. No credit union, no commercial banks, no finance house, nobody. Nobody. And the thing is, we had 5% with interest up front. Interest up front. How are we doing it? You see, we are not making the people suffer. Now, when you open a fixed deposit with us, is the interest up front within 14 days' time? The interest that will accumulate for the 5 years, you're getting it up front. You're getting it up front. Because I had a friend who was in a situation. He had a fixed deposit with his dad. With his dad. And they were making plans that when he hear this fixed deposit up, not with my company, in the bank, a commercial bank, I won't call the name of the bank. They said when this fixed deposit up, they're going to draw the interest and they're going to travel a little bit. So happens, the dad, within the second year of the fixed deposit in a commercial bank, he died. He died. Never got to enjoy the interest on that money that he labored very hard for. He never got to enjoy, he never got to leave Trinidad and Tobago with the interest he would have gotten 2%, 3%. He and his son, till this day the son said, he said, Saeed, I feel like I cannot travel again because after listening to my dad make this commitment and then waiting patiently to receive this interest, he said it was sad and heartbroken because his dad did not live to see this money mature. To travel a little bit with the 2% they was getting. He said it was heartbreaking to him. And maybe in the financial industry, you see, as a person that has listened plenty, that has listened plenty, that has observed, that has analyzed a lot. Because when he's an accountant, he is going to observe and analyze numbers. And then when you're educated like me, it has been a whole new different ball game. You just think outside the box. You don't stay trapped in a box. You think outside the box. So then I started, what become a thought in my brain, my mind? A thought became a vision, and the vision became reality. So from listening to what my good friend had to say about his dad, I started to plan that thought of how he didn't enjoy his retirement money. The interest on the retirement, he didn't enjoy that. And I started to plant in my head a thought. For weeks, a plan and a plan and a plan. It became a thought. And then the thought, I take this thought and I start to put it into a vision. The vision in reality is we work so hard for our cash. We put away in savings. We put away on a fixed plan, a deposit, that later on we're going to draw some interest from this. So that thought became that vision. And that vision today is the reality of Real Talk Financing. When you make a fixed deposit with us, within 14 days' time, you're going to get your interest up front. So, do repairs to your house, pay down on a vehicle, pay off a medical bill, pay for education. You could travel a little bit. You could pay bills that you're owing on. So this is how Real Talk Financing could give the citizen of Trinidad and Tobago a 5% or a 4% or a 7% on interest up front. We want you to enjoy the benefits. Let me tell you something. I am a Trinbagonian national. I born in Trinidad and Tobago. And I am an educated individual in this country. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saeed. I want to say congratulations to our Prime Minister, sir. With all this fiasco going on with CARICOM and this Secretary General or whatever it is, everybody was against her. Now she came out on top.
Yes.
The PNM was, that fella called Henry Brown, saying, the PM is going to this summit. Don't raise nothing about this Carla. But they are not in government, so why is it they want to give advice to the government? Look, our Prime Minister went. Now everybody follows her and agree. Let the matter go on, for an opinion. It is not going to be a case. Let them give an opinion on whether this is correct or not. So I don't know what is it with the PNM. Now you know what is very, very interesting, sir. This place in Barbs, that is from day one is PNM. And they went to the dogs, look at the condition. The PNM never visit them. Where is this guy Karim ever talking all this sort of rubbish? You had to have a UNC government official, Mr. Alexander, went within a couple of days to address their problem. That is the heart of the PNM, sir. And you have a UNC. So I hope these people eyes open now and see who is standing up for them.
Yes,
now, all this other fiasco with passport. Is there any evidence that there is a passport shortage? Why is the PNM, who is in total disarray, creating mischief, sir? And then CNC3, I'm not afraid to say, any issues come up, they don't go to government officials who are in power to seek answers. You always see they're going to Gary Griffith, you always see they're going to the opposition penny. They are not in government. Why don't they go to the government to seek proper answers, sir? So thanks a lot for that.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, think about what I am saying tonight. One day we all will die. We all will leave everything. But ask yourself if you are enjoying the benefits of your labor. You have your money secured in a commercial bank. You're getting 2%, 3%. But when are you getting it? At the end of 5, 10, 15, 20 years? And that is how Real Talk Financing is changing the ball game in financing right here in Trinidad and Tobago. And it takes a man like Saieed to do it. Kola, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saieed. Great program as usual, man. And showers of praises to you from the many citizens of this country who you given a little hope to. And I want this lady they call Muhib to understand. Today, I had my own experience. I went to Shagona Social Welfare Department. 2 hours I waited there to collect a form, to carry for someone who has a disability so they can take it to the doctor to get it signed and stamped and so on. 2 hours, you had people there who said they followed their form for public assistance and social help since last year, and they said they will contact them in 3 months' time. So they went there 2 hours, they waited 2 hours.
Just to collect a form?
Yeah, just to collect a form, Mr. Saieed, just to collect a form. Now the fella there apologizing and he said he had to screen the people. Oh, I understand, he poor fella there, he alone, right? So I understand you, but you can't tell me, man, just to collect a form
2 hours?
and you boasting and giggling about you're bringing social services nearer to the people and better in social services. Man, you all are a waste of time, and you should be ashamed of yourself using your office and position to improve nothing for the citizens of this country but to bring more pain and suffering to them. That is very sad in this country. People who contribute to the development of this country, when you go for services hours, but you all giggle and say, oh, we're giving you all good service. Mr. Saieed, 2 hours, to collect a little form.
That's
and all
ridiculous,
it take 5 minutes, the girl just stamp it and she say, okay, carry to well, he have to go to the hospital. Give it to him to carry to the hospital. I have to carry the individual clinic card and ID card. Right, fine. But within 5 minutes, I had to wait 2 hours for that man, and you have people there waiting hours to the same way, elderly people and so on. You go to drop a form, just to drop a form for your public assistance or social assistance. You have to wait the 2 hours. Mohibs, I hope you're hearing this, you're using your office to bring pain and suffering to the citizens, and you giggling just like the government and lying and saying 8,000 people you deal with and bring joy and happiness to them, and really not one of them gets anything, because I see today for myself. Mr. Saieed, you must take a walk along there, man. You are man, people look for chat with people, man. You will be amazed to see what people are going through in this country, whereas these high office holders, all they do is tell lies and lies and lies and more lies. Mr. Said, you are the hope for this country and hope for the people. God bless you. Keep up this great work you are doing. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. So, Trinidad and Tobago, make up your mind. Come down to Real Talk Financing. 14 Caroni Savannah Runs, Sharonas. 23 Superior Street in San Fernando also. Set up a fixed deposit. Get your interest up front. And enjoy the benefit of your hard labor. Enjoy the benefit. Travel. Do repairs. Pay down on a vehicle. Give your grandson, your granddaughter some cash in an account. Think about it. Think about it. When you die, you would not enjoy the benefit of your labor. And that is why I came up with this idea to do interest up front. Many have asked, Said, how you did it? How are you doing it? How are you getting through with this? And that is the reason why. A thought became a vision. A vision became reality. And Real Talk Financing now is extending in Panama. All our documents are inside with the financial institution across there, with the government, the registry office. Everything is stamped. Everything is approved. All I am waiting now is our permit to operate in the country. And hopefully by the end, we had a little delay. Hopefully by the end of July, we are going to get that. The delay was when I went China, I was supposed to be in Panama signing off on some documents. But I ended in China for almost a month, and that was the delay. It was on my behalf. Remember, I did say, hopefully in the month of June, within the second or third week, we're going to get the permit to operate. But the delay was on my behalf, where I spent 30 days, almost 30 days in China. So that was a delay. I caused that. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, I am just waiting on my permit now. And that's it. Real Talk Financing in Panama. I'll be paying bills in U.S. currency for businessmen in Trinidad and Tobago down in Panama. Nevertheless, so viewers, think about it. Think about it. And you would know. It's only when it happened to you, then you will enjoy it, then you will understand what Said is talking about. Kola, good night.
I want to big up the warden office in Princess Town.
Tell me, what good did they do for you? Tell me.
They give me real good service. Getting me numbers for my land deed and whatnot. Mrs. Patrick.
Nice. So, they did something good for you?
Yeah, they do real good for me. They treat me, the warden office in Princess Town treat me real good. And the social welfare also treat me real good too, from Princess Town.
Not a problem. Thank you, my friend.
Right?
Yes. See viewers, some we might have a kickback in some, and then some will share a victory. But nevertheless, Social Development Office, the ministers need to be out in the field, go to the various institutions where you all have all the business, and talk to the officers, talk to the ones in charge, find out what they need to better the service to the people. At the end of the day, I want you to understand this word. Social assistant. Social development. I believe Vandana Mohit is the minister controlling that department in her ministry. And hopefully things could be done better and in a different and speedily manner. So, businessman Dominic Hadid and his wife, Genevieve, have launched another bid to secure their release from detention over an alleged plot to kill key government officials. Lawyers representing the couple filed a procedural appeal yesterday, challenging a decision last week by Justice Frank Sipasad to refuse to release them pending determination of their case, alleging that they were targeted by the government based on ethnic and an ongoing legal dispute over termination of lease of state land. In the notice of appeal obtained by the media, the couple's lawyer raised over a dozen grounds under which they claim that Justice Sipasad made numerous errors in refusing the release from preventative detention order. Now, viewers, according to TTPS, a lot of individuals have been held under a preventative detention order. That is to prevent whatever that is going to take place. And this is the only couple in Trinidad and Tobago that is trying very hard to be released. The onlys. But nevertheless, they claim that Justice Sipasad was wrong to rule that they could be compensated by the state if they eventually succeed in substantive lawsuit. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. If TTPS holds you, and for whatever reason, you were handled in a manner that's not supposed to be, the abuse of power, maybe you get injured, at the end of your case, you have an entitlement. You have the decision to make that entitlement. If you find you were treated fairly, you could leave it right there. And if you find that, what happened to you should not happen to you, you could take a lawyer and sue the state or go after the state as they say. But it's up to you. And what Frank Sipasad said, he would have said it to any individual in any case. All the individuals in Trinidad and Tobago presently who are being held under a PDO, after their time is up, considering that PDO, Preventative Detention Order, you have the rights to sue the state for being held wrongfully or abused or mistreated or whatever the condition of the place is. You have that right to take a lawyer and sue the state. So in no way did Justice Frank Sipasad made any harsh decision. And the statement he made, he would have told that to any individual who have been held by TTPS. Also, they also contended that Justice Sipasad wrongly required the couple to prove that their continued detention was illegal. They claim that the TTPS service and the state were instead required to justify the lawfulness of their detention. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this. Forget they are the 1%. Forget they are Syrians. Forget they own whatever it is. There are many individuals in this country who have been held under a PDO. So, according to John Jeremy, nobody is above the law. You will be treated equal. A PDO was issued for you. The government, TTPS, the securities know they have a reason to justify why they issued that. And hopefully in the coming days, in the coming weeks, we're going to hear some more of the justifications. But they also claimed that he had failed to properly consider their allegation of discrimination. There are many individuals in PDO detention center presently, and the Hadid and a 69-year-old relative, Star Sabga, were detained 2 weeks ago as police officers executed a search warrant at their homes and office. So again, I say, if the PDO had a reason, the reason I believe was in the public domain, but the lawyers didn't want to believe that. They have their rights on what to believe and what not to believe. But once that PDO is issued, it is issued. And it's up to your lawyer now, if you take one, to fight the state. So there's a do and a don't. There's an explanation and there's a no explanation. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, nevertheless. And that is that until further notice. To Minister Roger Alexander, Minister of Homeland Security, has confirmed that more passports are on the way and insists there is enough stock to meet current demand. But the ministry has not disclosed how many passport booklets remain available, even as concerns from people familiar with the situation about the country's supply running low continued to persist. In a statement about concerns over Trinidad and Tobago passport inventory, Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander sought to reassure the citizen that there is no passport shortage. The ministry said the Immigration Division has been actively managing passport supplies while TNT prepare to transition to a new electronic passport, the e-passport system. According to the ministry, 50,000 machine-readable passport booklets were received in October 2025, followed by a further 12,000 booklets in June 2026. That's last month. Says the division currently issuing fewer than 6,000 passports on average each month, and that original deliveries have already been arranged with approximately 48,000 more machine-readable passport booklets expected to arrive in September. The ministry said by the end of 2026, the Immigration Division will receive a total of 100,000 machine-readable passport booklets, which is described as more than sufficient inventory to support passport service during the transition of the new e-passport system. So Trinidad and Tobago, you have heard the reassurance from the Minister Roger Alexander, and let's see what will take place in about 2 weeks from now concerning this, if we're going to get more news on it or if it's a big fat lie. Viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. Stay locked on. When we come back, Beckel's question Alexander on passport issue. Stay locked on, viewers.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concerns. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
True growth shouldn't make you wait. This month, Real Talk Financing is changing the timeline. Get up to 7% interest on a fixed deposit paid to you upfront. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Real results sooner. Call our Central or South branches today.
Connect with us on social media and don't miss the latest updates. Follow us on Instagram at RealTalk_Newsroom. Check us out on Facebook at Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Real Talk Trinidad and TikTok at Real Talk with Saieed Ali.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, welcome back. Remember, 7% on our fixed deposit. You can't go wrong, Trinidad and Tobago. You cannot go wrong. You cannot go wrong. So, Opposition Leader Penelope Beckles is calling on Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander to disclose exactly how many passport booklets remained in Trinidad and Tobago inventory. She said the public still needs a clear picture of the country's current supply, despite assuring from the minister or the ministry that the passports are on their way. While the minister says TNT is not facing a passport shortage and confirmed that additional passport booklets have been ordered, Beckles said the key question remains unanswered. She said the issue represents a test of public accountability, arguing that citizens should not have to rely only on assurance when dealing with an essential state document. Beckles said, so just before I go to the next story, Trinidad and Tobago, Beckles is telling Homeland Security Minister that the citizen wants to know, or she wants to know, the exact amount of passport booklets that's in inventory. You all remember when I believe in San Fernando Passport Office was shut down, closed down? You all remember that? So I wonder, all remember that? South Passport Office closed down? So I wonder now if Penny Beckles was thinking about the citizens of South Trinidad and they had to venture straight into Port of Spain to get their passport. You all remember that? How come Penny didn't come out and reassure the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago that her government will open back passport office in San Fernando? Do so and like so, you know. As I always say that. Call her good night. Hello? Hello?
Yes, hi, good night.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Saeed, I just want to touch on two things real quickly.
Tell me.
Listen, concerning this whole situation with the Adis and thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something, right? I had a matter with Frank Sipasar already, and let me tell you something, partner. That man just dot all the I's and cross all the T's. You understand what I'm telling you? The man know he work.
Yes.
Don't play with you. You understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Mm-hmm.
And these people, they feel they're above the law. They always have, and they always will be. I'm glad we have a government now that bringing some of these people back down to earth now. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yes.
Nobody's above the law. And the second thing, right? To the Minister of Homeland Security, right? I don't mean this in no bad way, right? I spoke to people today concerning their passport, right? Who applied since the beginning of April. I applied since the beginning of May.
A 6 months wait.
If you're saying we have no shortage, right? Why we not receiving we passports? Well, let's say we 4 to 6 weeks. They're going into 14 to 16 weeks right
Correct, yeah.
If all is saying we have no shortage, why are they not processing? When you contact City Post, they say that's how it's still in processing. They have received
Correct.
it. So explain that to me now, somebody, please.
True.
Any outside, you enjoy your night, brother.
Thank you, my friend. So Beckles said the transition to e-passport should not distract from immediate questions about existing supplies and the ability to or of citizens to access passport now. She added that any disruption to passport availability could have serious consequences for citizens who needs to travel for education, employment, medical care, business, or family emergency. She called on the government to provide greater transparency on the remaining supplies, current processing timeline, and measures being taken to ensure citizens continue receiving passport without disruption. So presently, Trinidad and Tobago, when you apply for a passport, it's supposed to be, only if you expedite, it's going to be within 3 to 7 days. But normal 2 weeks max. But it is going into weeks now that individuals are applying for passport and are getting delayed. Weeks now. And that is a problem right there. Right there, that is a problem. Hopefully, Roger Alexander could sort it out for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago and reverse that delay. In other news, TTPS Road Safety Officer Brent Batson, he's a wonderful guy, Trinidad and Tobago. I must tell you, this man, you see this man? Brent Batson is a wonderful individual. He tries very hard to make sure that road safety is practiced in Trinidad and Tobago by our drivers. So hear this. Brent Batson have stated that drivers' behavior remain one of the biggest contribution to serious crash, with speeding, reckless decision-making, and failure to obey traffic laws continuing to cost lives. Brent Batson.
You're approaching, this is a two-way road where roadworks has narrowed one lane, so it's literally single vehicle access into a tight space. Now, instead of somebody slowing down, drivers sometimes speed up to try and rush the other drivers into that space. And of course, if another driver is doing the same thing you're doing, somebody has to lose.
Now, viewers, Batson noted that police officers will continue to enforce traffic laws, particularly those targeting impaired drivers and other dangerous offense. The
state increased DUI fines. A first-time offense is now $24,000, and a second offense can rack you up to $45,000. A third one will be jail time as well as driving disqualification and your fine.
So now, Trinidad and Tobago, while we understand that Brent Batson wants to keep up the laws in Trinidad, road traffic and accident, we also want to ask the lawless police officers who drive reckless on the nation roads. Take all your time now, brother. Take all your time now. Sometimes I go be on the highway and you're hearing a siren coming down. Speed down the shoulder. And as you pass the traffic, the siren off. As you pass the traffic, the siren off. What about the police officers who break street lights? What about, we have seen it on social media. We have witnessed it many times that police officers, traffic light, my mistake. They ran the traffic light. We have seen it on many occasions. So I also want Brent Batson, who is a really, really nice guy. I want to commend him for that. I also want him to take into consideration that there are lawless police officers also. But we do give them the high praise that they deserve. So hear this now. Schools are now on vacation and the country is grappling with the rainy season. Batson is urging motorists to ensure their vehicles are roadworthy. Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this.
Unfortunately, when you combine speed with the wet road conditions, which we've been having a lot, it's a recipe for disaster. We reminded person, I should say, that it's even preparing for the rainy season. Please ensure that your tires are in proper condition. Please ensure that your wipers are working. And please remember that your key, one of the best friends and techniques that you can use to prevent accidents, especially on wet roadways, is increasing your falling distance. Far too much on the highway mile. We're seeing even in heavy rainfall, people are too close behind the vehicle in front. So when there's an incident and traffic suddenly backs up, it turns into a 4 and 5 car smash up because people are falling too close.
So while Brent Batson are talking about make sure our vehicles are roadworthy, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But listen to this. Residents of Bag and Trays, Channel Girl, 2nd Street Chicanas says the basic road repair are now a thing of the past. The pavement is completely broken. They're replaced by a deep, muddy pothole for the families living here, just driving or walking through this mess in a daily struggle. Trinidad and Tobago, the community angers goes deeper than bad road. One resident stated that before the election, their MP, Jerlyn John, Jerlyn, your community need you, was always around promising that fixing of the roads and the main junction. Residents claim they haven't seen their MP since election end, saying she forgot about them the moment she got in office and their votes. They are now asking a direct question. How is it that after 14 months since elected or the election, the main junction has never been fixed, leaving them with nothing but broken promise while the roads completely falls apart? So Jerlyn John, your community needs you. I understand there's a patching pothole drive going on in Trinidad and Tobago, but Jerlyn, look at this. Look at this. This is in your community. Look at it. Look at the potholes. The community members said that during the election time, you went and you campaigned. You asked for votes. You have been patching potholes over Trinidad and Tobago, but you are forgetting Bag and Trays, Channel Girl, 2nd Street in Chaguanas. You forgetting it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Trinidad and Tobago. Look closely. Was the words in vain, or is it broken promise that they have to live with? You see, Trinidad and Tobago, that's why they still all you sending all the videos about all the community, we highlighting it for you. I love to get things done. Trinidad and Tobago, we are out of time for tonight. But remember, a rerun of this program is tomorrow from 11 to 12:30 p.m. We'll be right back here another night for another Real Talk Live. Until then, be safe.